But what a bonus to have him back, and he is pumped up to play here in the playoffs after missing last year's postseason. Spanish language version of today's game presented by ESPN Deportes. Use the SAP button on your television. Here comes Darren Williams, who the Lakers not a lot of teams have had an answer for, as Boozer gets inside, and the Jazz get on the board first. In terms of strategy, Jeff, what are key things for Utah to be competitive in this series?
Well, they can score with any team in the NBA. Where they struggle is at the defensive end of the floor, particularly on the road. They just foul too much, and they just don't have solid enough individual defenders.
Bynum misses, Collins the rebound.
And I totally agree. The bottom line for the Jazz in their matchup against the Lakers all season long, they've given up 115-plus points. They are not going to beat the Lakers 4 games playing that type of defense.
They beat the Lakers in the one game in Salt Lake City. They beat almost everybody in Salt Lake City as Darren Williams tiptoes in. And it's 4-0. The home team in the regular season series won all 3 games.
I like the way that Darren Williams is starting this ballgame. He has to be in attack mode to create offense for the Jazz.
The foul's going to go against Darren Williams. He's very chatty early.
You know, Jerry Sloan talked about how 6 days of practice Darren Williams has had bounce in his game and really stepped up his leadership for this team. And certainly early in this ballgame, he is the one setting the tone.
And that's a terrible foul for him to take right there. He's too important to take a frustration foul, given a body check to Pau Gasol right in front of the official. Have Kyle Korver do that.
Gasol trying to post up against Boozer. Lakers with the huge size advantage. That's what Jerry Sloan said they were most concerned about. As Gasol flips it up and in. What a season Pau Gasol has had. An all-star, continues just to be so consistent, whether he's playing center or power forward.
You can make the case Pau Gasol deserves to be first-team All-NBA this year. This guy is as efficient offensively as it comes. He's a good rebounder, and he has a knock defensively that he's soft. But the guy, as there's a foul call on Darren Williams' pass, but the guy is a shot blocker as well. He's had a tremendous season.
Derek Fisher picks up his first. The officiating crew of Joe Crawford, Derek Stafford, and Eddie Malloy. Malloy working just his second playoff game, so officials also getting used to the postseason, but they've called it tight early. Boozer. And Boozer, the jump shot. Boozer is such a key to this team. He's had all sorts of injury problems, missed 45 games after having knee surgery, and still not really back 100%. As Bryant kicks it out to Ariza. Good ball movement. Fisher open. That 3 won't go. The Jazz, as we've said, so dominant at home, but they have been a bad road team. 15-26 on the road. Korver kicks it out to Brewer. Brewer's shot won't go. And while the Jazz have struggled on the road, Lakers have been unbelievable at home. 36-5 for the Lakers. Ariza for 3. That's good. Trevor Ariza having the best season of his career, and so happy to be in the playoffs as Fisher quickly picks up his second. So foul problems early. And that will bring on Shannon Brown. Shannon Brown, who's taken over the backup point guard duty. Brown obtained from Charlotte back in March. Jordan Farmar's banged up a little bit. He's got a foot problem, hadn't been playing as well. And Brown getting a chance to play.
Derek Fisher upset with the call. There was no question about it. Good job by Darren Williams forcing motion.
Lots of whistles early.
I love that. I really love when they. But this, as Mark said, that's an easy call.
So the blocking foul. Fisher will sit. Brown, by the way, his playoff experience, he played 1 minute mop-up duty when he was with Cleveland. And now playing in game 1 in the first quarter. Brown played his college ball at Michigan State, a first-round pick of the Cavs back in 2005. They like his size against Darren Williams. That's what makes Williams so tough, Mark, really, because of how strong he is.
Well, what you want to have defending him, you have to have size, and you also have to have a physical guard. You want to keep a body on him and try to some wear and tear on him when it matters most in the fourth quarter.
The Lakers turn it over for the second time.
And two interesting things happened. Joey Crawford warned both teams he's not listening anymore like he normally does. He never listens. But secondly, Kobe Bryant is not playing Ronnie Brewer for any type of jump shot. Is sagging off into the post, making entry passes difficult.
Both teams a little sloppy. Here comes Bryant. Kicks it out. Ariza open for three. Puts it in. 2 3-pointers for Trevor Ariza.
You see Kobe Bryant early looking to get guys involved. The great offensive players say, hey, I can get mine at any point. Let me get my sidekicks some open looks.
Ariza was hurt much of the postseason last year, hardly played. This year he developed into a key component of a 65-win team as Darren Williams with a pretty move. There's Brown. Mark, what's it like getting your first real playoff action? How nervous do you get?
I'm Shannon Brown, and I'm playing alongside of Kobe Bryant and Kyle Gasol and Andrew Bynum. I'm not nervous at all. I'm feeling awfully good.
Count it, and a foul. And Bynum with a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, I think going at Carlos Boozer a lot in the post. That's not where he's strong. Good, strong move by Bynum. Too little of resistance by Carlos Boozer. I think you have to go at Boozer in the low post.
Bynum, meanwhile, he's also very pumped to play in his first real postseason action. Played in a handful of games mop-up duty a couple of years ago. Missed the entire postseason last year. As Collins' jump shot way off. Lakers look to push, third highest scoring team in the NBA during the regular season. Bryant is at big games against the Jazz. Jerry Sloan telling us before the game he worries he makes it look easy against us. Bynum spinning up and under. And here comes Brewer.
It's going to be very important for the Jazz to knock down jumpers, but the jumpers have to come from jump shooters. It just can't come from Collins taking spot up top of the key.
Gasol the steal, Ariza the finish. Trevor Ariza erupts with 8 points here in the first 5 minutes. Ariza, a very good player, but not a big-time scorer. Averaged 9 a game during the regular season. Chance of defense. Boozer can't get it to go. 10-2 run by the Lakers. Bryant operating, Brewer with him. Dangerous pass stolen by Brewer. And here comes Darren Williams. Williams on, nice pass to Boozer. Pretty little ball fake there, Mark Jackson.
Somebody please get Andrew Bynum a navigational system. He was lost.
Darren Williams already 3 assists. Bynum has admitted his rhythm's still not there. But he says feels great after sitting out for a couple of months. Kobe Bryant. Brown open. That's good. Another 3. There's the young man's first playoff points.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. No need to be nervous because you're going to get open looks off of playing with great players. Shannon Brown does a good job stepping in rhythm and knocking down the jet.
Williams goes inside. Boozer, the adjustment, can't finish. Gasol with another rebound. Here goes Gasol. Ariza. Williams brings it up. Quick tempo here early, trying to draw the foul, couldn't get it to go. This quick tempo, who does it favor, Jeff?
Well, I think it favors LA. They have more players, as Shannon Brown does a nice job in finding Pau Gasol. They have more depth and they have more athletes, particularly with some injuries that Utah is facing. And again, nice simple play by Chris Brown. Easy 2-on-1, and then double team against Kobe Bryant. Bryant, very nice pass, wide open. Brown knocks it in. Lakers up 7 early.
The NBA playoffs on ABC, brought to you by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Warner Brothers Pictures, Terminator Salvation. Thursday, May 21st, we fight back. And Toyota, moving forward.
in Los Angeles with the Lakers off to a good start. They lead by 7 here in the first. In day 2 of the 2009 NBA playoffs, some terrific performances yesterday on the opening day. Derrick Rose in his first career playoff game. LeBron James with another spectacular playoff performance. Yao Ming, what a start he had, didn't miss a shot. As we mentioned, 3 road teams winning and some spectacular individual performance. That included the Rockets pounding Portland in Portland, and it pains me to say this, but accurately predicted by our Jeff Van Gundy, Mark.
Look here, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Give me a break.
All right, now, you could just say I was wrong. You were wrong. That's okay. It's acceptable in this world. And I'm going to say this, and I said it before the series, don't be surprised if that's a sweep. Portland achieved great things in the regular season. They have some nice young pieces. They're not ready to beat a to beat a Houston team in a series.
I'm absolutely shocked by you. Bottom line is it's 1-0. It's not going to be a sweep. If you're Portland, go home, make the adjustments, be ready for game 2.
They didn't just get beat. I don't know if a team has ever lost by 27 at home in game 1 and come back to win the series.
Very difficult, certainly. Mark, how about you? What impressed you the most on day 1? Which of the performances blew you away?
Well, I'm a former point guard, so you talk about being a point guard. Derrick Rose, his performance against the world champion Trevor Ariza gets another easy one. Derrick Rose was just spectacular. Made every big play, and obviously playing with a tremendous amount of confidence.
Al Gasol with a spectacular pass. Gasol, such an excellent passing big man. As Korver knocks down a 3, and the Jazz certainly needed that after falling behind by 9.
And I don't like Utah double teaming Bryant in the post or Gasol in the post. You just got to guard your own guy in the post.
Shannon Brown, offensive foul. As Collins, a good defensive center, steps in and draws the charge.
And also, let me give you credit. You were right about Houston in game 1. But now, let me tell you, that's Shannon Brown, not Chris Brown, playing the point guard for the Los Angeles
You know what,
Lakers.
though? But you know, I said he looked just like Chris Brown last time. So that was still on my mind from the last time we covered them. That's my fault. Shannon Brown.
Andre Karolinko coming in for Utah. Korver misses that one. Fight for the ball. Collins comes down, but last touch by Shannon. When you see a team, as Lamar Odom's going to come in. Odom now coming back off the bench. Started a good part of the year with Bynum out with the injury. Odom gets a nice ovation. He has had an excellent year. Started slowly with his bench role, but now whether he comes off the bench or starts, he's been terrific.
And Jerry Sloan touched on that. He said, hey, Lamar Odom is playing the best basketball that I've ever seen him play in this league.
Darren Williams. 6 points already for Williams. 4-point game. Karolinko guarding Kobe Bryant. Bryant hasn't scored yet, hasn't taken a shot, but he has 4 assists. Gets inside, the floater, there's his first shot, won't go. Williams the rebound. Karolinko. Inside pass to Boozer. And that won't count. A 3-second violation call against the Jazz. That's their 3rd turnover. That's one of their problems. They're 22nd in the league in turnovers. A good offensive team, as Jeff mentioned. 7th in scoring, 3rd in shooting. But they tend to get a little sloppy with the ball.
If I'm Jerry Sloan, I would really think about starting Millsap alongside of Boozer in game 2. Both of those guys can play the 4 or the 5, and they give you more options on the offensive end, and they can force the issue against the Lakers.
Paul Millsap in there now. Nice left hand for Gasol.
That was well defended by Boozer. Very good counter move back to the baseline by Gasol.
This Millsap played so well with Boozer out. Korver gets it inside the Boozer. 8 on the shot clock. Williams lost it, got it back, stolen by Brown. Nice move to get away from Karolinko. Shuffle pass to Gasol, and he banks it in. Shannon Brown helping out off the bench in his first real playoff action.
He's giving them good minutes. The thing that I like, he's not going out of character. Spot up shots and then solid defense.
Darren Williams Shot won't go. Millsap battling. Goes back up with the left hand. Gets it again. Millsap triple team. And he'll reset. Nice pass inside, and Paul Millsap puts it in. Millsap undersized. He is so tough, though.
How about the pass from Deron Williams? My goodness, is this guy special or what?
And Brown, foul call. And we'll have a timeout. Well, the veteran Derek Fisher, who's played in so many playoff battles, he's on the bench. Shannon Brown comes in and contributes.
Well, active on the defensive end and then doesn't make mistakes. Forces the defense to come to him. Delivers the pass to Pau Gasol. Quality minutes from Shannon Brown.
And the Lakers off to a red-hot start. 67% shooting.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
And has been the distributor.
He sure has. And here in the pick and roll, very weak show by Carlos Boozer. They're forming a wall. Kick it to Ariza. Very slow, poor closeout by Kyle Korver. And then in transition, Ariza does a good job spotting up in the corner. Bryant unselfish. Again, another weak closeout by Korver. And then one of the special plays. Turns baseline to shoot the jump shot. Notices the traffic. Skips it on target to Shannon Brown for the open three. Bryant with a slow start. 3 turnovers, but really very good getting his teammates involved early.
This time he does it himself. And the lead up to 8. Jerry Sloan was saying for this team they just have to be better defensively. He felt down the stretch of the regular season when they lost 7 of their last 9. They were trying to outscore everybody. Sasha Vujacic has come in, and Carlos Boozer throws a little forearm as Vujacic fights over the screen. That's 2 on Boozer.
Well, again, Boozer's trying to stay attached to the screener and is not coming out and taking Kobe Bryant off the direct line drive to the basket. I don't know how you expect Kirilenko and Brewer to be able to guard like that.
Well, I think you can tell right away why the Jazz are a bad defensive team. They've already made at least 7 to 10 defensive mistakes, not closing out, not helping. You have to be on the string if you're going to play great defense.
Gasol has it. C.J. Miles has come in for Utah, the normal starter, but he's got a finger problem. He's been banged up, not coming off the bench. Gasol, bad pass. Miles has it. Matt Harpring has also come on for Utah. Miles with a dislocated left index finger. There's Millsap. Backs in, nice up and under. Can't get it to fall. And a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against the Lakers. And Lamar Odom. Jerry Sloan watching.
This shows you the size of Pau Gasol. Nothing special, just active, contest without fouling. And you like the activity by Matt Harpring on the weak side, looking to crash the offensive boards.
See, I think they've really missed Harpring. His minutes have been way down. But he just has a physical presence to him and a competitive spirit that I think has been missed.
Yeah, Harpring that time knocks it down. He's been banged up a bit.
He is nasty, though.
They call a foul on Harpring. He just, every time down the court, you know where you're playing him. I remember when he played in Orlando, he was the type of player that guys would go up to the officials before the tip and say, hey, would you watch number 15, please, before the game started.
And that's not just Orlando. He was a teammate of mine when I was with the Jazz. It was every day in practice. You were happy to be on his team. You didn't want to face him.
Millsap guarding. Gasol. Here's Vujacic. Brown will try another 3. 2 for 2 from downtown for Shannon Brown.
But many of these threes are not contested. You've got to do multiple things. You've got to help, and then you've got to recover and close harder than the Jazz are closing to start this game.
Lakers 4 of 6 from three-point range. Brown has 2 and Ariza has 2. Miles way long. Odom the rebound. Here comes Brown. Bad pass stolen by Williams. Knew that one was coming. There's about a 5.5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. goes Williams. Finds Harper. Extra pass inside. Miles. Slant won't go. Battle. Gasol the rebound. They got plenty of time. Vujicic looks up in the clock. Finds Odom. Odom to the basket. And he got fouled by Williams. That's going to be the second foul on Darren Williams. And Brevin Knight quickly off the bench.
This is just good patience by the Lakers, not looking to force up a shot, but realizing there's plenty of time. Certainly Darren Williams doesn't get the full body in front of Lamar Odom. Correct call made, and Odom going to the line.
I believe Jerry Sloan just got hit with a technical foul. He can't be arguing the Darren Williams call because that was clearly a foul on Williams.
I think he was arguing the previous call against Harpering on the last possession.
Jerry Sloan just a couple of weeks ago announced that he will be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in September. An anti-Utah chant breaking out. These two teams met in the playoffs last year. Jazz gave them all they could handle in the conference semifinals. Lakers won in 6 games. Darren Williams was brilliant in that playoff series. As Kobe Bryant sits down for the first time. This is the 5th time they've met, these two franchises, in the postseason, each winning 2. And that will end the first quarter. The Lakers looking sharp to begin their playoff run. Trevor Ariza, 10 points to start for the Lakers. They lead by 11 after 1.
Welcome back to Staples Center. I'm with Jazz head coach Jerry Sloan. Coach, defensively, what kind of adjustments do you need to make after that first quarter?
We need to be able to get in position to be a little bit better to draw a couple fouls on them. They're running down the floor. We should have a right to be able to get out in front of them. We haven't done that quite good enough. We've committed too many fouls.
Now, before the game, you were telling me that effort was going to be so important for your guys. How would you describe the effort level that you saw in the first quarter?
I think our guys are playing extremely hard. We missed some shots, took some shots we'd like to have back, especially in the first part of the ball game. Otherwise, we're pretty much right there in the ball game.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. Mike?
All right, Lisa, but they're down 11. Darren Williams is on the bench with 2 fouls as Andrew Bynum called for the first. They have struggled on the road all season against the good teams, to say the least. Look at that number against teams with winning records, 1-19. The only victory was late in the season at New Orleans. Jeff, this is one of the biggest disparities we've ever seen. They're so dominant at home. Is there one particular reason? I mean, obviously, if Jerry Sloan knew, to try and figure it out, but it's so hard to pinpoint.
Well, they're not a great defensive team, and they're a lot less a defensive team on the road, particularly against a good team. And it's unusual because Jerry Sloan, as a player, was a defensive-minded, tough competitor, and his team just doesn't exhibit that this year on the road.
Millsap misses after Harper's miss. Ball knocked out of bounds. Laker ball.
I would look at one thing. Jerry Sloan says the least assault is they're playing extremely hard. There's no way you're playing extremely hard when you give up 30 points in the first quarter and the opposition shoots 70% from the field.
And wide open 3-pointers.
And see, that's why I like Matt Harper being in the game. He's lost lateral quickness. That's a very nice pass and finished by Lamar Odom. But I think Harper, he brings more of the spirit and toughness that you're going to need on the road, especially against a really good team like the Lakers.
Harper now in his 11th year in the league, 7th year with Utah. He came in after the Stockton Malone era, was part of the team that had some tough years. And he was a main player, a leading scorer for him for a couple of years. And when they started getting the Darren Williams and Carlos Cruz a lesser role for him.
I think a lot of it has been health, too. He's gone through the microfracture surgery. It's been tough on him, just health-wise.
Miles, the jump shot. They need some perimeter game. Jerry Sloan said because of the length of the Lakers, they can't take the ball to the basket as much as they normally like to.
I think it's a combination of both. You want to take shots as Jordan Palmer on careless turnover, but you also want to attack the length at times. Take it to the body of the Laker bigs. Look to get to the seam.
And that's where they miss Okoro, too, because Okoro would bring one of the bigs out onto the perimeter to open up the lane a little bit more with his 3-point shooting.
Okoro They're 6th in the NBA in three-point shooting. The 7-footer's got great range. Hamstring problem. Right now they list him as day-to-day. You see his numbers for their second leading scorer.
And not having Okoro really makes Andrew Bynum's job so much easier. If he had to defend Okoro on the perimeter, he's not going to be that presence in the paint for the Lakers.
Luke Walton in, guarding Harper. Here's Brevin Knight. Knight blocked by Farmar. Vujicic and Farmar, the backup guards. Walton looking for Bynum. Poked away. Knight trying to jam it in. Here's Odom, all alone. The Lakers starting to pull away.
And that's 2 straight bad plays by Brevin Knight. He turned down an open Karolinko on the previous possession to force up a jumper, and then a bad decision in transition.
Harper jump shot. Gets it to go. Harper's second field goal. Jazz shooting just 39%. Of course, so much made about the Laker defense. For them to win a title this year, had to improve on their defense. Walton inside, Bynum to finish. Certainly no problem on offense. Mark, are they better defensively this year?
My answer would be no. They are not better. They're just superior offensively. This is an explosive offensive team. What it boils down to, are they going to be able to defend as they advance in the playoffs?
Another turnover. The Jazz really struggling without Williams. Farmar to Odom. Lakers pouring it on. A 16-point lead, and Jerry Sloan wants a timeout. Jazz in a heap of trouble. Lakers shooting 76% from the field.
The problem is too many easy baskets for the Los Angeles Lakers. Careless plays offensively for the Jazz, not getting back transition defense time and time again. The Laker bigs attacking the rim off of stellar decisions by the perimeter.
It's all new tonight. Only 4 episodes left until the 2-hour season finale. Last episode ended with Edie's shocking car accident. Tonight we'll have an answer to the cliffhanger. Desperate Housewives, all new at 9, 8 Central tonight. Let's listen on a recent Phil Jackson huddle.
There are plenty of opportunities out here. You guys, bounders and sprinters, know your role. Defense, it's about transition. You cannot turn the ball over, right? You got to get back and provide tandem defense. All right, that was a bad quarter. Just think what if we wouldn't have had 6 turnovers, but over 1 or 2, right? Could have really had a monster quarter on them. That's a good quarter.
Up by 11 and still wanted more. This team with such high expectations. They had a record early in the season as Boozer knocks down the jumper. They were 20-3 and had a team meeting. I don't know if that's ever happened. They just want perfection. They want nothing shy of a title. Vujicic. Williams slaps it out of bounds.
To me, it's very interesting. Phil Jackson deciding to play 3 point guards and getting Farmar. He may have demoted him, but he hasn't taken him totally out of the mix.
Vujicic tried to jam it in, deflected out. Still Laker ball with 8 on the 24.
And I believe if you're Phil Jackson, you understand I'm going to need this guy at some point. Maybe not today, but I'm going to need him if we're going to accomplish our goal.
He had to take Fisher out early with the 2 fouls. Brown went in, played well. And now Farmar obviously has the more playoff experience. Last year, Farmar flips it up. That won't go. Millsap with the rebound. Millsap, the former second-round pick out of Louisiana Tech. Wide open. Miles can't put it down. Millsap, the rebound, throws it back out again. They list Millsap as 6'8". I don't know if he's that tall. As Williams draws the foul on Vujicic. Millsap, a guy that big decision for the Jazz this offseason because they've got 2 very good power forwards. Obviously, Carlos Boozer, a former All-Star, and Millsap, who's younger. They're both could be free agents. Boozer most likely will opt out of his contract. The speculation is that he will not re-sign with the Jazz. They don't seem like they're going to be crushed by it because Millsap certainly is capable of stepping in.
Well, I don't think they could afford both of them. The one thing Millsap does better than he's a much better rebounder, but you can play through Boozer in the post, and he and Darren Williams in the pick and roll is a tough combination to cover. So make no mistake, he'll miss Carlos Boozer if he opts out and goes elsewhere.
Tim Duncan always said that defending Boozer was so difficult because of his ability to score with both hands.
He's so much better going to his left than he is to his right.
Fisher back in after picking up the 2 quick fouls. Those free throws, by the way, by Williams, the first free throws of the game for Utah. And Harpring got hammered by Odom. Harpring and Odom going at it a little bit away from the ball. Harpring banged into a couple of the camera people.
He just likes to bang into people. He doesn't feel good if he's not hitting somebody. He's part of the Bully Brothers that they used to have there. I mean, this guy, he's a great football player.
And he goes crashing into our man Rusty. But what I like, he turned around and quickly asked him if he was okay.
That was fake hustle. He really does not care about Rusty and whether he's okay.
You're right.
No, there's not fake hustle.
That's fake hustle. He did not care. He'd give him another. If this wasn't on TV, he would have given Rusty another shot.
He wouldn't have done
forearm shiver.
He wouldn't have done a Rodman on him. There's Rusty. Now he turned back twice. So yeah. I don't think it's fake hustle.
You know what he said? I'll get you next time harder than that time.
Are you okay? So if you're okay?
I can't believe you're falling for the fake hustle.
Hold on. I still remember coaching under Rick Pitino, and he had the greatest fake hustle of all time. When guys would come out, he would clap his hands like he's doing a good job, and then he'd cover his mouth, and he would tell them some things you wouldn't want your son told. Oh, man. That reminded me of Rick Pitino right there. That was fake hustle. You're right, Mark.
Harpring and Odom. They're going at it off the ball, on the ball, as Harpring picks up his second.
If you're Matt Harpring, there's no reason to be upset. You're grabbing, you're shoving. That's a foul. He got a handful of jersey with the left hand. That's a foul.
You know, the first couple dribbles, he defended him well. There was no reason to take the extra poke at Odom right there.
He comes from a family of football players. He would have been a very good football player himself. As Luke Walton puts one misses. 10-point lead for the Lakers. We played nearly 5 minutes here in the second. Williams to Boozer. Miles, another good open look. Again, won't go. Miles 1 of 5 off the bench.
And Brewer was 0 for 3, so they really haven't gotten the production you need when people are wide open.
Odom inadvertently tripped as he goes down hard. Millsap fell on the floor. And Odom got tangled up.
One thing that's really obvious is that the Utah Jazz are a totally different team when Darren Williams is on the floor. If I'm Jerry Sloan, I maximize his minutes on the court. I need him in order for us to have a chance.
Meanwhile, Odom will go to the line. Speaking of free agents, he will be an unrestricted free agent for this season. He's already said that he would take less money. He wants to stay here in L.A. He's very popular. A lot of people think he's the most popular Laker in the locker room. He's an easygoing guy, likes being out here in L.A. You know, I read what he does. He still, when he goes to baseball games, he brings his mitt.
See, I never understood that stuff. Like, why are you bringing your mitt?
It's easier to catch a foul ball.
No, it isn't. Do you know how many clean catches?
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. If you watch the number of clean catches of foul ball, it's all about rebounding, just like in basketball. It's all about the rebound. It hits somebody's hands, and then you got to be the first to the ground to get the foul ball. I've never understood that mitt thing.
I totally agree with you.
Oh, no, you clearly have a better chance of catching it. Looking for 3. Miles trying to tip it, gets it back, goes up. And Byron, good job altering the shot. 6.5 remaining here in the second. Kobe Bryant with just 3 points. And Harpring is fed up. 3 fouls on Harpring. And he's going to have to go to the bench as Kirilenko returns.
But one thing, if I'm Sloan, I'd say, hey, I'm watching the film tomorrow and say, guys, this is the way we have to play. Sure, Matt Harpring has 3 fouls, but I can live with those 3 fouls. Bad plays, but he's playing with force, and this is the way that we have to beat this Laker team.
And that's why I'm saying, if you're Matt Harpring, you've got to have controlled aggression because they need that spirit out on the floor.
Kobe Bryant with his 4th turnover, although the Lakers do get it back. Bynum blocked on. They call a foul on Boozer. Jerry Sloan already has 1 technical. He's upset with Joe Crawford. Corey Crawford not hesitant to hand out the tees. One of the best officials in the league. Let's watch it.
That's not a foul.
They call a foul on Miles, not on Boozer.
I don't care who they called it on. That's not a foul on anyone.
Here's the reaction. I think it's a good thing he turned away initially. Joey Crawford in his 32nd year in the NBA. He's officiated. This is 242nd playoff game. Williams. Nice pass to Boozer on the pick and roll. And Boozer fouled. I believe it's going to go against Bynum. If it is, that's his 3rd. And we'll have a timeout. Just past the midway point, 2nd quarter. The Lakers looking sharp. As Bynum, it's only his 2nd foul. They're up by 13.
NBA playoffs on ABC. Brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
No, I know him.
I know.
First of all, you don't call him Kanye West. It's Kanye. He's
I
like
said
known by.
Kanye.
No, you said Kanye West.
No, I didn't.
You said Kanye West. You're better than that, Mike.
Right?
We're going to rewind the tape.
He's a one-name wonder. Okay, we've just corrected. You did say Kanye.
I demand an apology.
Even after yesterday's slip-up in the hip-hop world that we're not going to mention.
Boozer misses Ariza to rebound. This is from the same guy who called Shannon Brown Chris Brown just about 10 minutes ago.
My mind is locked in to hip-hop. I can't stop.
So Boozer trying to poke it away. Shot clock at 7. Bryant, extra pass. Odom for 3. And Brewer backing in the rebound. Williams out there playing with the 2 fouls. Karolinko, nice pass back, and Brewer the finish. And a rare easy basket for the Jazz.
He's one of the best cutting guards in the NBA. He finds ways to get layups because he has such an unorthodox jump shot.
Brewer averages just under 14 a game. There's Fisher, the high arcing shot. Derek Fisher knocks down the 2-pointer. This is his 155th playoff game.
And you can tell the Jazz are most effective when they're pushing the ball in transition. The problem is they're not getting enough stops to put their stamp in fast break baskets.
To say the least, Mark, 65% shooting. As the ball deflected by LA. Shot clock at 5. The fans here asking Joey Crawford. Nobody touched it on the Lakers. He's not answering them.
I had the same problem when I was coaching.
Williams, shot clock at 3, out to Karolinko. Karolinko hoists up that 3-pointer. And a loose ball foul is going to go against Millsap. Great job from Fisher down low.
You're going to be an effective rebounding basketball team. Your smalls have to do the job also. That time, Derek Fisher does a great job keeping a body on Millsap.
And really a double-edged sword. Not only do you have a bad offensive possession, but you foul on the rebound. LA's in the penalty. Easy points.
You know, the onus is not just on the big guys to rebound, but if you are small, your job is at times get in there and get dirty also. Fisher does a good job of keeping a body and locked in on Millsap.
I don't know about the call, though.
Yeah, that's a no call to me, or Fisher displaced Paul Millsap.
Millsap will sit down with the 3 fouls.
You got to give Fisher credit. The guy is Denzel Washington as far as basketball players are concerned. Outstanding actor.
I didn't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, we were waiting. But now you can say I agree.
No, and he is. But he also, like you would know, he is a great competitor. He is not afraid of physical contact. And as you mentioned, you better have guards who are willing to put their body on the line to secure rebounds as bigs are helping.
Darren Williams, Odom stays with him. There's that awkward-looking shot again. Won't go. Brewer 1 for 5. Ariza to Fisher. Fisher inside pass deflected out of bounds. Good hustle from Brewer, but still Laker ball.
But you see the value right there of a great running big man. Gasol compacted the defense, which left Fisher open at the three-point line. He just didn't complete the play as he drove it to the rim.
Here's Kobe Bryant. Bryant drills it. Kobe Bryant has just 5 points, but the Lakers are up by 16.
Now, if you said last year, if you told the Jazz and Jerry Sloan, hey, Kobe Bryant has 5 points with just under 4 minutes to go in the first half, you think you're winning the ball game. This is a different Kobe Bryant.
Nice move inside. Brewer able to knock it down at a chance for a 3-point play.
No, this is a guy that's allowing his teammates to get involved on the offensive end, and then it's just a matter of time. When I pick up my own offense and on the isolation off of out-of-bounds defense, bad defense not keeping the body on Bryant, then a late contest of the jump shot. You got to do a better job paying attention to him on out-of-bounds set.
Kobe with 4 assists. Meanwhile, Brewer chance for the 3-point play. Brewer, his dad Ron played 8 years in the NBA. Dad played on that great Arkansas team with Sidney Moncrief. Went back in 1978, went to the Final Four. Ronnie Brewer now in his 3rd year out of Arkansas. Just over 3.5 to go here in the second. Brewer trying to stay with Kobe Bryant. Bryant gets past him, flips it up, puts it in, and a foul. Gorgeous move from Kobe Bryant. The lead back to 16.
And Brewer's thinking, uh-oh, I know that look. I recognize the look. He has his foot on the gas pedal. Bryant able to get into the seams and get the basket.
Bryant here in the MVP chance. It's the lowest scoring average he's had in 5 years this year. Yet the team finished with the 65 wins, 3rd best in franchise history. And they just slaughtered the West. Last year, of course, it was such a tight finish. Who would have the top seed? This year, they won the West by 11 games. And the lead is now ballooned to 18.
Well, I think the Lakers are a great basketball team. Then I think in the West there's 7 pretty good teams as Williams makes another fine pass to Boozer on the pick and roll. And then there are 6 bad teams.
By the way, lead was only 17, now cut to 15. And Joey Crawford blows the whistle. I don't know what that whistle was for. I think they're changing a foul. Phil Jackson now arguing with Eddie Malloy. The Jazz were saying that they put the last foul on Boozer. Right now, Boozer, according to the official stats, has 3, but it should have been Brewer. So they're going to figure it out during this timeout. Either way, right now, the Lakers dominating, Mark.
You're talking about Kobe Bryant getting started on the offensive end. Solid screen, and then the isolation, gets to the cup, gets the basket, went to the line. Lakers roll.
In the various NBA cities. As Bryant and Lakers walk back on the court, they lead by 15. Coming up at halftime, and with 3:13 away, the T-Mobile halftime report. Stuart Scott, John Barry, Michael Wilbon, and Magic Johnson. Kobe's journey, one of the stories. Pau Gasol's Fave 5 international players. T-Mobile halftime report.
I bet you his brother Mark, who's the center for the Grizzlies, is on that list.
Yep. Probably.
And he's here today.
Calderon, Rudy Fernandez, all his countrymen.
Yeah, it's all the Spaniards.
Ricky Rubio.
If Yao's not there, Yao has a legitimate right.
You know, if Yao or Dirk is not there, just rip up the list.
It's his fave 5. Doesn't mean the 5 best.
No, you have to love the best. You can't just love average or mediocre.
Odom inside. Odom wanted a foul. Pass inside to Karolinko. Karolinko can be such an X factor on this team. That's his first field goal at both ends of the floor.
He is Scottie Pippen-like defensively in help situations when he's on the perimeter.
Bryant, tough shot, drills it. Well, he didn't have a lot of points for a while. He's up to 12 already. 9 of them here in the second period as we hit the 2-minute mark. Karolinko again. Inside, can't finish. Boozer. Back up, blocked by Gasol. Ball tipped and taken by Korver. Miles shuffle. Can't get it to fall. Pau Gasol with his 7th rebound. So during the year, 8th in the NBA in boards. Bryant. And Karolinko the rebound. The shooting percentages. Such a disparity as Williams tried to draw the foul. Ahead of the pack, Ariza. And he can't finish. Brown able to get it. Korver couldn't get it. Ariza the finish. We'll lead 19. Largest of the first half. Trevor Ariza with a playoff career high 12.
And that upsets you as a coach. Where are the other guys in blue getting back transition defense?
Korver upset with himself. Had a chance of that rebound.
If you're Jerry Sloan, you say, hey, we're playing the best in the West. We have to have 5 guys battling back. They don't foul, and then Shannon Brown, reliable, does a good job once again with that energy, securing the offensive board, and then handing it off to Ariza.
Gasol stripped. And that will be Boozer's 3rd foul.
How good is Kobe Bryant? Can chill for almost the entire half, looking to get other guys involved, and when he wants to, says, okay, it's time for me to put the kids to bed. Turns it on offensively and takes over time and time again.
Kobe was saying the other day how the team is ready, they're healthy. I wish there were a couple more guys who were angrier. So we have a lot of nice guys on this team. They need to be angry like Derek Fisher and I.
But you are what you are. Nothing you can do about it. That's who they are as a team.
Yeah, he's got enough anger for everybody. But I loved what he said. There was an article on Dwight Howard in Sports Illustrated, and they asked Kobe Bryant, would you have let Nate Robinson use you as a prop? And I'm going to paraphrase here. He said no, but he said it stronger than that. And that's, to me, why he is who he is.
Miles, excuse me, Williams missed the 3. Greg Popovich said earlier this year that he has the same ferocity as Michael Jordan. Luke Walton from downtown. The 5th three-pointer for the Lakers, and they're up by 22.
But once again, it's off of the read by Bryant.
He has 5 assists. The incredible shooting continues for the Lakers. Jazz will hold it for the final shot of the half. Miles tied up. Miles has to force it up. Won't go. Rebound tip. And that will end a dominant first half for the Lakers, who shoot 66% from the field. And good balance. 3 players in double figures. Odom had 9. As the Jazz head back to the locker room with a huge deficit. Kobe Bryant had 12 in that first half and 5 assists. He's with Lisa.
Thanks, Mike. Kobe, it seemed like you were going to have a relatively quiet first half until the last 3 or 4 minutes of the second quarter. What changed for you?
Oh, it's just important to finish the half off strong. And, guys did a great job hitting shots. at the end of the quarter, I just wanted to make sure we went in with a little bit of momentum.
You mentioned your other guys hitting shots, a career playoff high for Trevor, Lamar, Shannon Brown. Why is it so important for those guys to get involved in the game early?
Well, it depends on how the defense is playing. They're going to give those guys shots. We encourage them to shoot them and take them, and they feel comfortable doing that.
All right, thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Mike.
Well, this is the first game of what Kobe Bryant hopes is a long playoff journey. We'll hear about Kobe's journey on the T-Mobile Halftime Report with Stuart, John, Michael Wilbon, and Magic all back in the studio. Pau Gasol's Bay 5 international players as well. As the Lakers having their way with the Utah Jazz in Game 1. 66% shooting, 5 of 9 from downtown, and they've got a 22-point lead.